Hello and thanks for joining me and Creepy. This is Danny and welcome back to my FTB Unstable 1.8 series. Today is going to be all about BuildCraft. So in our last episode we did a lot with Neotech and today we're going to be doing a bunch with BuildCraft. I've already been using BuildCraft quite a bit. I have a whole sorting system using BuildCraft pipes in my basement right now that we're going to take a look at today, and we're going to kind of take a look at how BuildCraft pipes work in general. Now, BuildCraft is not a new mod. BuildCraft has been around for a while, and most of the functionality is pretty similar to what it was before. We're also going to be doing some power gen with oil and refining of oil. We're actually refining the oil into fuel. And then we're going to be doing some power gen with the fuel. So I've got the magic mirror here. This is stuff coming in from the quarry, comes in through the magic mirror into this hungry chest. Right now we've got all our farms coming in here. So you can see, of course, we've got wood and various farm stuff coming in. I still have the Neotech pipes going out to the farms. I haven't switched any of those out. They seem to be working there. But the way these guys work, they're a little confusing. You can see I've got these redstone engines here. There are several different types of BuildCraft pipes. Oh, an interesting little thing about JEI. You can search BC Transport, and it'll bring up all your BC Transport stuff. You can also search BuildCraft. Oops. If you spell it correctly, and it'll bring up all the BuildCraft stuff. So the BC Transport, the BC. The BuildCraft stuff, the BC Factory, BC Robotics, and all that stuff. The transport pipes are the ones that do items. So there's also kinesis pipes, which will transport RF. And there's, of course, the fluid pipes, which transport fluid. And then there's all these transport pipes. And there's several different types of pipes. So the first thing we need is a wooden pipe. Wooden pipes are the pipes that pull stuff. So you have to have wooden pipes connected to whatever inventory you're pulling from. I believe you can also have emerald pipes. As you can see, these are called extraction pipes. So the wooden transfer pipe is an extraction pipe. The emerald transport pipe does the same thing, except that it allows you to filter. So you can have it pull like just specific items. In this case, I wanted to pull everything out of that chest, so I'm just using the wooden pipes. Then you have multiple different kinds of pipes, and that are just like your basic transport pipes. And I'm actually using quartz pipes for the pipes that are just like the normal pipes that things are passing through. The different types of pipes all have a different type of drag. So we have the cobblestone is a basic pipe with high drag. We have the stone pipe with medium drag, and the basic pipe, the quartz pipe, which has low drag. And that's why I'm using that. The drag basically means that it's going to slow items down. And then the sandstone pipe only connects to other pipes, so it won't connect to inventory. I have a sandstone pipe here because the pipes look at this mirror as an inventory. So if I had the regular quartz pipe here, it might try to output stuff to the mirror. So I have a sandstone pipe here for that. And then I have a gold pipe here. The gold pipe is the accelerating pipe. So it speeds up items. And we'll get to those other ones in a bit. So when it crosses over the golden transport pipe, it speeds it up. And you can kind of see how things are speeding up a little bit when they cross the golden transport pipe. It's kind of like the acceleration pipes that we played with in Neotech. Except that the items are then slowed down by the basic pipes. And with the stone pipes, or with the cobblestone pipes, which have a high drag, it's going to slow them down dramatically. And with the quartz pipe that have low drag, it's going to slow them down the least. Now, the fastest thing to do would be to have all gold pipes, which I actually think I'm going to do eventually, because I'm thinking that's going to help a little bit with the lag. Because when these guys are in the pipes, they're actually considered entities. So the game is keeping track of all these entities floating through the pipes. But you can see I placed gold pipes every so often because even though the quartz pipes have low drag, they do still have some drag. So by the time they get up here, you can see they're slower than they were down there. So then they pass through here, they get another little speed boost, and then they move on from there. And then we have the diamond transport pipes. Now the diamond transport pipes give us filters. And you can see there's different colors. Every side has a different color. And in this case, we've got the yellow side going into this chest, which is feeding our electric crusher from Neotech. And we have all of our ores going in there to the yellow side. And then everything else where we don't have a filter, whatever doesn't have a filter is just going to go where there isn't a filter. So the red side, everything's just going to pass right through if it doesn't match that yellow filter. And then this is the part where the Neo pipes were screwing up. We've got this clay transport pipe. The clay transport pipe, so normally if you have an intersection in your pipes, in your BC transport pipes, like just a regular intersection of basic pipes, it's going to roughly transport about half of the pipes in one direction, or half of the items in one direction, and half of the items in the other direction. In this case, anything that can go into our drawers, we want to go into our storage drawers. We don't want anything to end up in our easy storage system if we have a drawer for it. And that was the problem we were having with the Neotech pipes, is that it seemed like most of the stuff was ending up here, and it just didn't want to put stuff into these storage drawers. So we have this clay transport pipe, which basically does just that. It tells it, put everything you can in this inventory. And then if you can't put it in this inventory, then it keeps moving along. So then we just move along. We got another gold pipe here, and now that thing must be full of wood. So now it's you can see they came back out, and then it's passing them along here, and it's moving right into our input, into our easy storage. And check this out. This is the first pipe that I have been able to get to interface with our easy storage system, and that is again the clay transport pipe. I couldn't get the Neotech pipes to go in there. I couldn't get any of the other BC transport pipes to go into the easy storage. The only thing I could get to go in there were these hopper ducts. So now we know we can use the clay pipes to send stuff into our easy storage system. So that's it. That's the BC transport pipes. I'm actually not going to get into this much, but I'll just tell you that you can have it basically paint items. And what that means is that it's going to kind of flag the item with a particular color. And then you can use these two pipes that allow you to then route things based on what color they are. Our filtering is pretty simple, so we don't really need anything quite that complicated. But then we have this obsidian pipe, which sucks up items. Theoretically, we could replace this hungry chest with an obsidian pipe, and then we wouldn't have to use the wood pipe. We would just have an obsidian pipe, and when things get tossed out of the magic mirror, just for demonstration purposes, we put something in our mirror, it gets tossed out, the hungry chest eats it up, the obsidian pipe would suck it up. Now the reason I don't do that, it was for two reasons. One, yeah, then we wouldn't need all these redstone engines. Boy, that might be a good idea. But the reason I haven't done that is because I've got these pipes feeding into the hungry chest. So either way, we're going to have to pull out of a chest in order to kind of interface between the Neotech pipes and the BC transport pipes, because we can't connect them directly. One of the limitations of the BC factory pipes is that the extraction pipes, well, they always, the wood pipe and the emerald pipe, they always pull everything out of the chest. It doesn't matter. There's no way to tell it, like, only pull stuff out of this chest if we need it. You can use the emerald pipes to tell it, well, only pull out certain types of things, but it will still pull everything out. And over here, we've got this thing pulling out of our drawers, sending stuff out to our mana generation area for Botania. So it's pulling out like wood and charcoal, charcoal and food for our different flowers that are generating mana. The Neotech pipes are smart enough that if the inventory on the other end is full, it's not going to pull anything out. The BC factory pipes aren't. They're just going to try to empty out whatever it is they're connected to. They're going to try to empty out the storage drawers, and stuff will float around in the pipes. It'll cause all kinds of lag. Some stuff it'll just throw out into the world, and it'll end up despawning, and so we can't. So we're not able to use those for that. So fortunately, the Neo pipes are kind of. If you've been watching my series, you've probably heard me complain a few times about lag when I get near my base, and pretty much anywhere where I have pipes. And this is the case both with the Neotech pipes and with the BuildCraft pipes, which are actually pretty similar in the way they function. I actually added a bunch of gold. I added some more gold transport pipes to this in order to speed the items along a little bit, in hopes that that might help reduce the lag, because if the items are moving faster, that means there's going to be fewer items in the pipes at a time. Well, something interesting happened while I was doing this. I disabled the pipes. I basically removed the wood pipe connected to the chest so that nothing was going into the pipe system. I still had lag with nothing passing through the pipes. So somehow, we got a little a little glitch there. Somehow these pipes are causing lag even when they're not doing anything, even when there's nothing. So it must have something to do, I mean, they must be checking each other or something, and I don't know. I mean, that seems to be what's causing the lag. So it seems like a problem that doesn't really have a solution at this point. So hopefully that's something that will get tweaked in the future. We've got this coal generator that's pretty much been powering everything. I also have a fluid generator over here from Neotech, which basically by default just burns lava. And right now it's not even, I don't even think it's even running, because we don't really have a very high demand of RF here. The only thing that uses RF is our storage, our remote storage, so that we can access this big storage thing wherever we are. And then our Neotech machines, which we only use every once in a while. They're very intermittent. And then our ore doubling Neotech stuff down here is using RF, but that isn't actually using RF right now either, because our quarry isn't running. So we really don't, I mean, even when they are, we're not using that much RF here. So we really don't have much of a need, and we're producing more than enough charcoal. We're producing more charcoal than we're using right now. Everything is just waiting for our generator to use a piece of charcoal. This guy, he gets one out of there, and then once he gets one out of there, this thing fills it up again, and then he puts another piece of wood in there, and we're producing more wood than we need. So power is not an issue here at the base. Where power has been an issue for me is at the quarry. And the reason it's been an issue at the quarry is because there's no way to transport RF long distances on this in this mod pack. There's no tesseract or anything like that, and we're very, very, very far away from our base. So we're not. Oh no! I forgot to grab my map when I updated. But anyway, we're very, very far away from the base, so we're obviously not going to be able to run pipes all the way out here. That would just be silly. We have no way of transporting items really either, other than the mirror, but that doesn't. That's our only long distance travel for items, but the mirror doesn't know what's on the other end. So we have no way of saying, hey, let's get some coal in this thing when it's empty. There's really no way to do. How are we out of coal? Our quarry stopped. It's not even. Oh, whatever. It's unimportant. Not important. Stay focused, Danny. Where was I? Yes. So this, I think, but we do have a means of transporting fluids. Interestingly enough, we have ender tanks. We have ender tanks. We don't have any ender chests, but we do have ender tanks and ender buckets and so on and so forth, which will allow us to, I mean, they work like ender chests, basically, where you put an inventory in them in one place, and then you have a matching chest or tank somewhere else, and whatever inventory is in the one will also be in the other. So we've already started using ender tanks at home. We have a small oil field over here that I've been draining just because I wanted to get rid of the oil. And we used a little bit of it for power, but we still have a lot. So here's our ender tank, and this ender tank is white, white, white. You can change these colors with dyes, and whatever and whatever 2 tanks or however many tanks have the matching colors, they will, any tank that has the same colors as this one will have the same inventory. So this is going to allow us to suck up oil from anywhere in the world and to be able to basically access it from anywhere in the world. What we're going to need for this little project is a couple things we already have. A pump. This is the BC factory pump, which pumps out oil or any fluids, whatever. You can pump lava, whatever. The ender tanks, of course, that we already talked about. We're going to need some way to power the pump. Right now I'm just using this wooden generator. The pump doesn't actually take that much power, so if we could probably just stick with the wooden generator and have a hopper here, and it would probably run for longer than we would need it to, because I actually just put 1 stack of charcoal in there and there's still 46 left, and it's already drained this whole area out. We're going to need a refinery, which I couldn't find. It has no texture, so this should be interesting. Hopefully it won't have a texture when it's in our inventory. I have a feeling it will have a texture when we set it down, though. It just doesn't have an item texture. And then we're also going to need the combustion engine. So the refinery is going to take oil and it's going to turn it into fuel. And then the combustion engine is going to take the fuel and produce RF. Now, we can actually burn oil, but it's more efficient if we burn fuel. So we'll need 3 of those tanks, and then we're going to need a diamond gear, which is diamonds and a gold gear, which is gold and an iron gear, which is iron and a stone gear, which is stone and a wood gear, which is 4 sticks. And the funny thing is, every time I make this gear, I get achievements. I get the same achievements over and over again. A bit rough around the edges. Now, this is not the first gear I've made. There's our invisible refinery. Nice. Let's see what happens when we set it down. Hooray! It actually has a texture. Okay, good. Okay, we just picked it up. Believe it or not. And then we're going to need the combustion engine, which is just 2 iron gears, so we get to make 2 more of these. Okay, there's our combustion engine, and now we're going to need some pipes. We're going to need 1. Yeah, I think we're just going to need 1 wooden pipe, which is a wooden transport pipe, which I think we already have, yeah. With some pipe sealant, which is actually cactus green. Let's just make a bunch of this stuff. It's cactus green, just in a crafting grid. Got a wooden fluid pipe, and then I've got 7 quartz fluid pipes, and these they act exactly like the transport pipes. You've got the wooden for extraction, and then you also have the emerald. The difference between cobblestone and quartz is the speed. We have 10 millibuckets per second, 20, and then 40, and then gold is 80. So you don't have like the drag or whatever. It just has a set speed. And then we also have the diamond for sorting, and the sandstone to not connect to inventory other than just other pipes. And then we also have the void to destroy stuff, and then clay, that's an insertion pipe. So we're gonna head out to the quarry and move it, because this area is all quarried out. I want to move it to some new world gen. So I'm using ender markers this time. The last time I set down my quarry, I didn't use ender markers. And what the ender markers allow you to do is just to mark out the area that the quarry is going to quarry. Otherwise, it just does by default a, 16 by 16 or something like that? I'm not sure exactly, but you can see if you right click on it, it'll connect. I've got 3 ender markers, 1 here, 1 there, about 50 or 60 blocks away or so, and then 1 there, about 40 or 50 blocks away. And then when we set down our quarry right in front of this guy, we see our frame goes up, the ender markers get dropped, so then we have to go run and get them. And you want to make sure you do that before you power the quarry, because because it's easier to pick them up. And of course they're just items sitting out in the world. They will despawn. We are now refining oil into gasoline. So I've got a wooden pipe here, the wooden fluid pipe pulling oil out of the ender tank. I've got a redstone engine here to power the wooden pipe, and then of course that lever is turning that on. So we're piping oil into the refinery, and then that's turning it into gasoline. And then I've got this diamond generator over here just to get things started. So now we can set down our compression dynamo. We'll need some pipes. Or our combustion engine rather. We put that here. I don't want it face. Oh, you know what? We need to put wooden pipes down there. Well, it's a little messy, but sometimes you get that with BuildCraft stuff. So here we've got another fluid extraction pipe, another wooden fluid pipe, pumping into our combustion engine, and now we have gasoline coming in here. Oh, but we need water too. Oh boy, I forgot about that. So I have a BC factory pump and an infinite water supply, a 2x2. It has to be a 2x2. A 3x1 will be consumed. Then I've got the wooden fluid pipe again going into the combustion engine. So we're now pumping water and gasoline into our engine. So I'm going to keep an eye on this guy for a while just to make sure that when it reaches its high temperature, which I believe is 100 degrees, that it's not going to consume the water faster than it can be supplied. Otherwise it'll overheat and blow up and we'll have a big mess. So I'm going to hang out here for a little while. Although I did do one stupid thing. I'm going to have to steal, because we're out of fuel over here, so we can't power our refinery. So I've got to steal this pipe, because it's the only one I have. And I'm going to have to hook it up to this thing. However, it's turned in the wrong direction. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to actually break it and replace it. Which means, I can't turn it. Which means I'm going to lose all the stuff that's in it. So that kind of sucks, but that's fine. So I ran into the catch-22. I ended up dumping some oil in here because I only have one wooden kinesis pipe. So I couldn't power it with my other generator and have the combustion engine there. Pretty sure I only have that one. Let's double check. Yeah, it is true. Okay. So quiet down up there. I'm trying to record. Yeah, so everything should be working now. It's just burning oil, and then as soon as it burns up this oil, it's going to start pulling in the gasoline. So right now the fuel is actually, you can see it's just kind of floating around in the pipe. But that should be fine. It should get through that oil quickly enough and start pulling it in. Okay, and then we're going to put another kinesis pipe down here so that we can power our... That was kind of the whole point of this, right? Remember? To actually power our quarry. Hooray. Oh, that's a fluid pipe. Okay. We need a kinesis pipe. Hooray! Our quarry's working again. Now we got to hit this pipe so that it will actually let a decent amount of RF pass through and not just 10 RF per tick. If you remember, when we set these pipes down, they only allow 10 RF per tick to pass through, and you have to hit them with a wrench to toggle through all the different limits. And if you shift click, it goes backwards. So we start at 20. If you shift click, it goes back to 1280. So everything is working now. This thing is stabilized at about 100 degrees, which is awesome. And the water is definitely keeping up. So let's just take a quick look at this overall mess that I made. It is a little messy. So I guess we'll start out with the refinery. We've got, of course, we have our ender tank that's pulling in oil that's being pumped from another location. And then we've got our wooden fluid pipe pulling oil out of the ender tank, which has to be powered. So that's why I'm using this redstone engine. Now the redstone engine does not require, all it requires is a redstone signal, and it produces a small amount of RF, and it's enough for this. And every wooden pipe, I have a redstone engine by every single wooden pipe. And then we have our fluid pipe. It's just a quartz fluid pipe going into the refinery. And then the refinery, it has to be powered. So we had to use our diamond generator in order to power this whole thing. We could have actually just used oil. I could have put 1 bucket of oil in here to power everything. That would have worked as well. And the refinery, and then we have the same situation. We've got the wooden fluid pipe pulling the gasoline out of the refinery and sending it into the combustion engine along the quartz fluid pipes. And again, we have a redstone engine powering the wooden fluid pipe. And then back here we have our pump pumping out of our 2x2 infinite water supply. Again, we've got our wooden fluid pipe with a redstone engine. There's our little lever powering it, pulling water along the quartz fluid pipes into our combustion engine. And then we have these kinesis pipes running everywhere. So we have the wooden kinesis pipe that's pulling power out of our combustion engine. The wooden kinesis pipe doesn't need to have a redstone engine because it's being powered by the combustion engine, because, you know, it's pulling RF out of there. So and that's running into our quarry. It's also running into our refinery and our pump. So that's it. And now we're going to be able to use this when this quarry is done. I've got a pretty large area here, so this quarry is going to be running for a very, very long time. But when it is done, we can move the quarry maybe to the other side of this and then just have the kinesis pipes running over there. We won't have to move this whole operation. I hope. That would kind of suck, because it took me a little while to get this all set up, but it's not the most portable setup for a quarry, but hey, it works. And now we won't have to worry about bringing we won't have to be bringing stuff out here all the time. We don't have to bring coal and everything out here. Oh, you know what we do need though? We need to pipe this stuff out and set this situation up again with our mirror. And then we need, here's our open crate from Botania. I'm gonna need another stupid redstone engine. So we're gonna pull up. Oh, you know what? Let's use Neopipes for this, or Neotech pipes for this. Okay, it works. It doesn't look like it's connected, but it is. Hooray! So everything is ready to go. Nice. Now we just need to wait for our quarry to finish building the frame, and we'll have stuff pouring in. And we won't have to keep coming out here to bring charcoal. All we have to do is just make sure that our pump is always someplace where there's oil. And our tank is still full, so that means there's still oil in our oil field that we're currently pumping from. We've got tons of stuff coming in now. We've got a little bit of a glitch there, but it seems to be working just fine. And we do have a little bit more lag now that we've got all the stuff coming in, but it's actually not too terrible. It's not as bad as it was before, so that's not too bad. Our stuff is being processed. And we're good to go, hooray! Oh, it's raining. It's a nice rain, though. Hey, creepy. A nice light rain. I think we're out of time for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions about the BuildCraft stuff or anything else, please feel free to leave it in the comments below. If you just want to say hello, that is cool too. And I hope you will join me next time. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to click the like button if you did enjoy this.